Introduction. Carol, who was 52 years old, only had 2 hours during the course of the day in which she did not experience feelings of hunger. During that time she experienced feelings of joy and relaxation, in addition to an abundance of vitality and strength. She was unable to exert much control over her hunger for the remainder of the day, and as a result she was irritable, restless, and filled with worry as a result. A primary contributor to her propensity toward engaging in binge eating was, in addition to her insatiable hunger, the feeling that she was out of whack with her body. However, going on a binge-eating binge will never be without its own set of unfavorable repercussions. The feelings of anxiety and compulsive hunger that Carol was experiencing were temporarily relieved. However, in their place came feelings of fullness and drowsiness. Carol didn't come to see me for a consultation about her weight because she was having problems with her weight, but rather because she was experiencing shifts in her emotions and levels of energy and wanted some advice about how to deal with them. Given the amount of food that Carol consumed on a daily basis, the sluggishness of her thyroid function, and the infrequency with which she engaged in physical activity, it is difficult to comprehend how she was able to avoid developing morbid obesity. When she binged on unhealthy foods, her go-to comfort dish was pasta made with white wheat, and she prepared it herself. She would go on eating binges, during which she would gorge herself on an entire enormous dish of spaghetti, then return for seconds, and finally consume the entire 16-ounce package of pasta. Carol was never able to solve the riddle of where she got her insatiable hunger, because the rest of her family were either light eaters or moderate eaters. When Anne arrived at her appointment, she weighed nearly 100 pounds more than she ought to have for her height and frame. She claimed that her weight gain was due to the fact that she had a craving for meat that was heavily marbled with fat, and that she ate a lot of meat that fit that description. She had also battled a condition that threatened her life, which contributed to the enormous amount of weight she carried around with her. It is a mystery how these two issues disappeared after she moved from the United States, where she had consumed meat from steers that had been administered hormones, to Mexico, where all of the beef comes from animals that have been grass-fed and have not been given any hormones. In the United States, she had consumed meat from steers that had been administered hormones. Because of this, she no longer had the compelling want to consume large amounts of meat, and instead switched to a vegetarian diet. She said that the shift was not the product of a conscious decision, but rather one that was compelled by instinct rather than a conscious decision. My job as a natural health consultant in a private practice has given me the opportunity to deal with clients such as Carol and Anne, who were at a loss to explain their struggles with hunger.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?